Well, welcome to Mexico City for the second round of the 2024-2025 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. First of all, thank you to everyone who's attended today. Ahead of the Hankook Mexico City E-Prix, we're going to hear from some of the drivers later. But first, please welcome our team principals for today. Florian Modlinger from Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E, Ian James from Neon McLaren Formula E, and Frederic Bertrand from Mahindra Racing. We'll start with you, Florian, as you're sat in the middle here. And first of all, we need to start with Pascal, because what we saw in the first race of the season in Sao Paulo was a very tricky moment for Pascal and for the team. It's great to see that he's okay, and to come to this track where not only he's been very successful before, but where the team has been very successful before, it seems like a perfect way to maybe get over what happened last time out in Brazil.
Yeah, hello everyone. Great to be here on this place again in front of such passionate fans. Always nice to come here. Looking back to Sao Paulo, clear was a tough one and a big one, and luckily we can say Pascal is okay. The mechanics did a fantastic job to build up a new car for him here, and yeah, the performance in Sao Paulo with both drivers looked strong. Pole position and then P2 for Antonio, and hopefully we can come back here with both cars in top spots. And when you look back, as you said, it's a successful place for our Porsche 9NX Electric, because in the last 3 years, I think, on the top spot was a Porsche 9NX Electric, and the team is fully motivated to repeat this.
And of course, Pascal had the first win for the team here as well. Talking about Antonio, a second place finish last time out, you must be encouraged by how quickly he's got up to speed with the new Gen 3 Evo car.
Yeah, we saw it already during testing, then in the pre-season test in Tiarama, and I think both drivers and both car crews performed very well in Sao Paulo. With the accident of Pascal, we missed out to have, with both cars, a chance for the podium, and this we want to tackle here then.
In Season 8, it was a 1-2 for the team. What do we need to see, and what do the team need to do right this weekend if we're going to see a repeat of Season 8 here this weekend?
Well, I think Season 8 was very, very special, especially it was still racing with time, not with laps. And this additional lap, which we did there, I think was something extraordinary and was a great success for the team and for Porsche as a make. But in Formula E, nothing is granted. You cannot relax, you cannot look back what was good. You need to push every single event, and how rare a double win in Formula E is. When you look back the last 10 years, it did not happen often, and to repeat such thing, everything needs to fit together on the race day.
Well, best of luck this weekend. There will be an opportunity to ask questions to all of our team principals at the end. We'll move on to you, Ian. You come into this race weekend at the top of the tree in the team's championship after a very strong weekend for the team out back in Sao Paulo. What do you need to get right this weekend to end the weekend still in that same position, number one?
Yeah, well, firstly, again, to echo Florian's thoughts, fantastic to be back here in Mexico. You can see even from the media center here, just the interest is phenomenal. And I know when we get out there tomorrow with the fans, they bring the passion, the excitement, the atmosphere. It's a real pleasure to be racing here again. Yeah, a really strong weekend for us in Sao Paulo, but a messy weekend at the same time. There was a huge amount of stuff that went on, and testament to the maturity and control that the drivers had to keep a cool head through all of that chaos, and to the team as well. The operational excellence that we speak about so often was really there on show, and when it came down to it, we were able to get those strong results. But we don't take anything for granted, and I think Mexico here, it's going to be a very different E-Prix to that which we saw in Sao Paulo. Having said that, I think it's going to be a different E-Prix to what we've seen in the past in Mexico here as well. We've seen the potency of attack mode that plays a really strong role now in the races. I think it's going to play a strong role even on a track which is traditionally not that easy to overtake on. So in terms of what we can do, it comes down to that execution again. It's just making sure that you take the right decisions, and then things go your way as they start to unfold over the weekend. I think actually having that strong performance and that consistency through each of the sessions, FP1, FP2, quali, and then into the race, is going to be crucial as well, and that's what we'll be focusing on.
You mentioned the messy weekend last time out with the penalties, and I know that Nissan and yourselves have been looking into what caused that. Where are you at with the findings of that? And are you sort of concerned about a similar thing happening this weekend, or has it all been ironed out now?
Yeah, I think it showed a slight lack of maturity in the overall package, but at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get the most performance that you can out of it. And as you come, especially when you're starting this new Evo of the Gen 3 car, as you're pushing the boundaries, sometimes you step on the wrong side of them. And I think that, again, over the weekend, the team and together with Nissan reacted well to those challenges. A lot of work has gone on behind the scenes over the Christmas period to make sure that we're in a more robust position going into Mexico. I think the confidence is there within the team that, and again with Nissan, that they've resolved some of those issues. We're not really going to see where we're at until we actually get out on track. Fortunately here in Mexico, it's not quite as bumpy as we had in Sao Paulo, but we are going to visit tracks later in the year that are going to have those same kind of features. So we need to make sure that we've got everything under control.
How impressed are you with the partnership of your two drivers, Sam Bird and Taylor Barnard? Because they've clicked instantly and already started very strongly, and they seem to have a great relationship off track as well.
Yeah, they do. They're both, similar in some ways from a character perspective, but also have their differences. A lot of people are talking about the experience of Sam, coupled with the fact that Taylor, to all intents and purposes, is a rookie. But they actually work together very well, and often as a team, we look for drivers who aren't just as fast as they possibly can be, but really input into the development of the team, and both of them that do that very well indeed. But it's nice to see that camaraderie. It's a lot easier to manage when they're getting on together. It's going to be fascinating to see how that develops. If we're in a position where the two of them are close in the championship and fighting for points, especially later on in the season, where we're going to have some changes to the format potentially of the races themselves. I think that's going to be fascinating to see how that dynamic unfolds.
We're all excited to see how that pans out, Ian. Thank you very much. Frederic, we'll move on to you. A good showing for you also in Sao Paulo, 5th and 6th for Mahindra. Great result for the team. Is that showing of your progress and where you are likely to be this season? It's not an anomaly?
I think, yeah, Sao Paulo was a good start of season, and we are all excited to see now Mexico with a good start of year. But definitely for us, it was a good achievement. First of all, in the way we did it, because it was very consistent from the drivers and from the team, and a good reward for all the work done by all the technical team behind to make that car appearing and coming in good shape with good reliability. So a lot of satisfaction, but as my two colleagues said, I think you cannot take anything for granted. That championship is so tight and the conditions were so special that it is really difficult to take some conclusion out of that event. But it's better to take the points when you can take them. So we were very happy there, and hopefully we can do that again for this weekend.
This race weekend here in Mexico City was a little bit of a struggle for the team last year. How much does that positive result from Brazil give a morale boost to the team coming into Mexico City?
To be honest, Mexico for me has been two different flavors on the 2 different years we participated with this new position as team principal. The first year we came pole position and podium. The second was a bit more difficult, and I forgot the position maybe. But definitely we look forward to an event which will be really different from all the 2 others on our side, because we are for sure much better prepared with a much better car. And our drivers are really looking forward to this event. And on the other side, with all the changes in the regulation, this huge impact of the 4-wheel drive and the attack mode will really change the physiognomy of the race and the strategies. So we can expect a Mexico race which will be very entertaining, hopefully not too much for us, because it's difficult in terms of stress when you really don't know how things are going, but definitely a lot of expectation and probably a lot of fun for the fans, definitely, and for us, hopefully.
You've answered my next question, so I will ask you a bonus question of, I saw Edo and Nick making, I think it was maybe salsa or guacamole yesterday. Did you try it? Was it any good? Are they good chefs? Did they get the Mexican vibe?
I think we have a quite creative communication team, and they had that good idea of giving our driver the taste of spicy Mexico salsa, which I was not so fan at the beginning, to be honest, because I really want them to be in good shape to drive. And we all know that that spicy taste might have some consequences. But for the moment, the consequences have been really good. It helps creating the team spirit we want. The two drivers are really working very well together. And this shows again that they can even create a recipe, which at the beginning was thought of being two different salsa and became only one at the end. And I think it's the good summary of the way we want the team to run. We have two guys running and working for one entity, which is the Mahindra Racing team. And we hope it will be as spicy as the sauce, but as good as the sauce also, because it was a good sauce.
I love the sauce analogy, and hopefully there are no negative consequences of the sauce. We have time for some questions from the assembled media here, if anyone would like to put their hand up, and you will be given a microphone. Wow. We have no questions from the media.
It's like a tumbleweed moment.
Okay, I've got a bonus question for Ian. We obviously saw Sam Bird celebrate his birthday this week. I've heard a rumor that Taylor got him a capybara, which is a little bit early because Japan's a little way down the line. But what did the team do to celebrate Sam's birthday this week? It's always good to have a driver celebrate their birthday on a race weekend, I think.
Yeah, I must admit, I wasn't aware of the capybara, so that's news to me. I'll try and find out. We did have a mariachi band here play him happy birthday, which was a lovely moment, and presented him with a cake. I think Sam was saying this is at least the 5th year, maybe more, that he's celebrated his birthday here in Mexico, so it's a very special place for him. The problem is, it's always at a point in the weekend where he can't actually go out and celebrate. So I'm hoping one year we'll have it on a Saturday, so that we can get out into Mexico City and celebrate properly in true McLaren fashion.
If it's a strong weekend, then Saturday night could be a good one. I'm going to give everyone one more opportunity to ask a question before we move on. No, Florian, I've got to ask you a bonus question as well. We saw Antonio playing golf recently with a few former footballers and Jeff Dodds, the CEO of Formula E. What did you make of Antonio's golf swing? Because he's only been playing for 2 years, but I thought it was pretty good.
In my opinion also, what I can follow there, he's doing well. And I think it's also a sport and where you can network and so on, and he fits in there well. He's enjoying it and makes it, on a great level.
He did it like he does everything with a big smile on his face. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and we will welcome the drivers in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.